Congratulations, WWE. You actually gave us a pretty decent pay-per-view. Honestly, this was not a bad show. I was expecting this to be one of the worst pay-per-views of the year. I was thinking this was going to be the worst pay-per-view of the year. And with rematches from WrestleMania, rematches from Super Showdown, and rematch from a 2017 feud that killed Bayley's career, I was expecting this to be the worst pay-per-view of the year, maybe of the last few years, and actually, this was not a bad show. Outside of the Raw Women's Championship match that opened the show with Becky Lynch doing her best to get Lacey Evans to a match, Lacey botching all the time to, let me think here, after that, the rest of the show picked up well, and then we had the two world title matches to end the show, and both matches were lackluster to fucking boring. You saw Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar being shit on at WrestleMania 34 last year was bad. Watch the main event tonight, in which we had Lacey Evans be the special guest referee. Yes, special guest referee was Lacey Evans. We all knew what that was going to. We all knew what it was going to. As soon as that was announced, and he's like, Lacey Evans, we're like, yeah, Becky's going to get involved. And my biggest fear coming out of this show is one thing. At Extreme Rules, it is going to be Baron Corbin, Lacey Evans versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Titles on the line. And that is where Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans are both going to be Universal and Raw Women's Champion. I hope that's not what's going to happen. I'm hoping we get a mixed tag match tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. If you go back to my prediction show, I did make something like, when I made a prediction that at Extreme Rules we would get Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon. I was wrong. That match is going to happen tomorrow night. So that is one match we will not have to see at Extreme Rules, which I am thankful that we don't have to, and I'm hoping this entire Shane McMahon thing ends tomorrow night. I'm going to be totally wrong because I'm pretty sure we're going to get Shane McMahon versus Roman Reigns 2 at Extreme Rules. Yeah, Bayley and Alexa Bliss actually put on a decent match. Ricochet is your new United States champion, beating Samoa Joe. That was a damn good match. It made Samoa Joe look like a fucking killer. Ricochet looked strong in the end. Nobody looked bad in that match. And after the match, they've never done this before. You had Ricochet go to the back, and they in gorilla position. You see Charlotte Flair, you see Heavy Machinery, you see Seth Rollins, you see all these superstars clapping for Ricochet, congratulating this guy for winning his first championship on the main roster. And then, all of a sudden, you see Triple H there, looking so proud and so happy that one of the guys that he busted his ass on for about a year to get this guy to where he is now, succeeding on the main roster and winning the United States Championship, and in my hope is going to take that title from here to here. I'm hoping so badly that this is going to be great things for Ricochet and the United States Championship. I could be totally wrong. I'm probably totally wrong. That's what I'm hoping for. This show was, again, not bad. We had, I think, 2 title changes. Yeah, 2 title changes. Cruiserweight Championship went to Drew Gulak, and Ricochet beat Samoa Joe. I'm totally surprised on both of those matches. I didn't expect to see Drew Gulak win on the pre-show, which, yes, the Cruiserweight Championship was back on the pre-show, and I did not. I expected Ricochet to win, as I said in my predictions, but I expected Joe to keep the title via a DQ, and we got a next match at Extreme Rules. But what happened later in the show, I'm looking forward to what's going to happen with Ricochet and who he had a talk to during the show. Now, I do have the title cards, and we're going to show those off, so you're not going to see my face the whole time. But we start off with Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Akira Tozawa for the Cruiserweight Championship. This match was the Cruiserweight Championship, I'm just going to be honest, has lost a lot of luster with not having Buddy Murphy as the champion or Cedric Alexander. Those two and Mustafa Ali put on some of the best matches for this championship since Neville, aka Pac, left WWE in 2017. Tony Nese just doesn't have it. He does not have it for me. I don't see a reason why he should be your Cruiserweight champion. This match, I will give it up to these guys for doing their best. I mean, the crowd was in and out for it. They did what they could for the match. Drew Gulak ended up picking up the win at the end of this match, which we saw Gulak rock Nese with elbows in the middle of the ring. Nese suplexes Gulak in the turnbuckle. Gulak rocks Nese as he charges. Nese slides out of a torture rack, which looked like, I was like, he had him up for a burning hammer, it looked like, and I thought we were going to see a burning hammer on Tony Nese, but of course WWE is not going to let you do a legit burning hammer. Tozawa kicks Nese off the apron on the floor. Gulak and Tozawa tangle again. Gulak ends up hitting the torture rack neckbreaker onto Tozawa for the 1, 2, 3. Drew Gulak is your new Cruiserweight champion. After the match, Gulak takes the title and celebrates as his music hits, and Nese and Tozawa cover as we go to the panel. One of the things that does piss me off about the pre-show and why I hate that the Cruiserweight Championship is on the pre-show is the fact that go to commercial break during the show because it's on, for some reason it's not on USA Network either. It's on YouTube, Twitch, and WWE Network. There's no reason to do the in-match commercial break that we usually see. So during this match we had, see what we had here. Yeah, so that was your match there. Then of course we get to the main card. And we have our first championship match, or second championship match on the night. Lacey Evans versus Becky Lynch. This match was piss poor. I counted 3 botches. 3 botches, at least. You know, when a superstar is thrown chest first into the turnbuckles, and they do that lift up, and the superstar goes underneath of them, get out of the way or something. Well, Becky Lynch was in the corner, and you could see Becky Lynch looking back, waiting for Lacey Evans to, for some reason, decide to take her sweet ass time to come up and get that elbow to the face that Becky Lynch was supposed to hit her. There was another 2 botches I can't remember on the top of my head because it was just this match. There was a "You Can't Wrestle" chant, which I thought was kind of funny. Lacey Evans has not gotten any better. He hasn't. And this, of course, was not the only time we see her tonight. And I think they telegraphed it that she was going to, and we should have saw this coming. We should have seen this coming. Because Evans keeps coming. Evans finally turns it into and levels Lynch, but she can't get the 3 count. Evans shows frustration, argues with the ref. Evans goes to the top, but Becky cuts her off and sends her to the mat. Lynch immediately applies to disarm her, and Evans taps out as soon as it's locked in. That should have told us everything we needed to know about this match, about what was going to happen tonight. The fact that Lacey Evans would be in the main event as the special guest referee, and the fact that she tapped out to disarm her like almost immediately should have given us that hint that she was going to be the special guest referee, but unfortunately it did not. After the match, Lynch takes the title and celebrates as her music hits. We go to replays and Evans looks on, leaning up against the barrier as Becky Lynch is all smiles. We got a new, I don't understand this and why they did it, but we got a vignette. We got a vignette for Mustafa Ali. I don't know why they showed it. It's like he's walking through the streets and like somebody, like in a part of it, like a couple is arguing, or 2 guys are trying to mug a rich guy, or somebody's like being suicidal or something. It's like he's just talking. I can't hear half of what he's saying, and he's just like going past all these things, and I guess he's supposed to be like some kind of superhuman hero. I have no idea what they're trying to do with Mustafa Ali, but yeah, that was what they were doing. Hopefully this leads to him getting his, like, being repushed. He was, of course, supposed to be in the Kofi Kingston position from Elimination Chamber on to WrestleMania, and injuries got in the way, and he hasn't done anything since. I'm hoping this will also lead to us getting Buddy Murphy on SmackDown Live, because this guy has been missing since the brand split. Since the Superstar Shakeup. Kayla Braxton is outside Baron Corbin's locker room, and she's like, Paul Heyman's been in here all day. Again, another bait and switch red herring that, oh, look, Paul Heyman's here. Brock Lesnar is going to be here for Stomping Grounds. First off, anybody really think Brock Lesnar was going to be here? Stomping Grounds? You kidding me? You really think Brock Lesnar was going to waste his time to come to the Tacoma Dome? Which, by the way, how many people got? I really want somebody in the comment section to tell me. Did you get a free ticket to go to Stomping Grounds? Because that place looked cool. Of course, if you looked up in the cheap seats, they were all taped off. So if anybody had a seat ticket for that, they obviously got upgraded because it looked packed. It looked absolutely somewhat packed during Stomping Grounds. So I'll give it up to WWE for finding a way to make it look packed. But there is no way they sold all these tickets to this show this late in the game. Braxton, of course, is backstage when Paul Heyman comes out of Corbin's office and he has been meeting with Corbin. Kayla says people are speculating on Heyman being Corbin's special guest referee for tonight. We also asked him about Brock Lesnar being here tonight. Heyman says the question he asked is if Kofi Kingston and Universal Champion Seth Rollins is here, and they are. The fans boo Lesnar's name, and Heyman walks off, pretty much insinuating that these guys are here. They're both in high-profile matches. Who's to say after that WWE Championship match, Brock doesn't break that cage open? He didn't say this, but I'm insinuating. Pretty much saying that Brock doesn't break that cage open and hit an F5, cash in 1, 2, 3, or after the Universal Championship match, Brock Lesnar is going to come down there, hit an F5 on whoever the champion is, and win the Universal Championship. Let's see. Corbin comes walking out and creepily wonders if Kayla is hanging outside of his door for something besides an interview. Really? But this is a PG product and you're making sexual innuendos like that? Come on, WWE. Corbin says he has picked his referee tonight and it's someone who won't do him favors. Intent, that's another. Here's the thing. Looking back on it, that's another indication who was going to be his special guest referee, and we all missed it. We will call it right down the middle. Corbin says he doesn't need help beating Rollins. He just needs a shot, and then if he needs somebody who can do the job well. If he needs to, he will deal with Brock Lesnar afterwards, and Corbin walks off. Then we have Big E and Xavier Woods versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. The New Day versus the WWE's version of the Best Friends. This match, they telegraphed this from start to finish until the finish that the New Day was going to win this match. Because immediately, Kevin Owens super kicks Big E off the apron and then just keeps giving Xavier Woods super kick after super kick after super kick after super kick. Beating this guy up with super kicks. Then he hits him with, I believe it was a senton. Yeah, big senton, but somehow Woods kicks out. Sami comes in from the outside for the double team on Woods. Sami with a blue thunder bomb, kick out. Owens goes to the top and hits a frog splash, but Woods again kicks out. So I'm like, you can't telegraph this any worse than you are right now. Big E is going to make the save, and the New Day are going to end up winning this match. But that's not the case. Big E and Xavier Woods actually lose this match. But man, Xavier Woods took finishers, he took super kicks. This guy got his ass kicked for the first 2-3 minutes of this match. Fans rally from, let's see right here. Let's see. Fans try to rally the New Day once again. Woods kicks Sami on the apron. Big E hits a big spear, sending Sami from the apron to the floor in the barrier. I really, really wish Big E would stop doing the spear to the outside. He's going to hit this spear once and come down and break his neck. This is a dangerous move that he does not need to hit. Going to end up costing him his career, and it's something I really, really wish he would stop doing. But so many times, I swear he lands on his neck, and it's just going to cost him his career in the end. Woods with an insecurity to Owens. Woods goes to the top, but Owens knocks him off. Owens nails a big stunner to Woods, which Xavier Woods sold that stunner beautifully. He went down and just sprung up like he got hit with a ton of bricks. And you get a 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are your winners. After the match, you have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens celebrating as you usually would. So it was a good match. It wasn't the best match of the show, of course. That match is coming up next. After the match, back from break, and Nikki Cross approaches Alexa Bliss. Cross is excited. She's so excited being in Bliss's corner tonight because Bayley doesn't deserve the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Bliss says tonight if she and Cross, it's her and Cross against the world because for the longest time she's felt like it's been Bliss against the world by herself, and now it's Cross and Bliss. Now, with what happens in this Women's SmackDown Live Women's Championship match, I'm not surprised that this entire friendship is not going to last much longer with what happened. We'll get to that later. But the next match, the only match I actually look forward to, Samoa Joe versus Ricochet for the WWE United States Championship. This was Samoa Joe's best match on main roster television. This was also Ricochet's best match on main roster television. I don't count tag team matches. I mean one-on-one singles matches. I would say in single matches, his best singles match of the show. And this show, if I want to say this, Ricochet is your MVP of Stomping Grounds. He made Samoa Joe look like a killer in defeat. That's how good he did, how good this match was. Samoa Joe was hitting this guy left and right, hard hits left and right, and Ricochet was just looked like he was dead on his feet, dead all over this match majority of the time. Ricochet put in the work. Ricochet made his money for tonight, and Ricochet is your new United States champion. This was a good match. Samoa Joe could not look any better than he was tonight. He rocks Ricochet. Ricochet comes back with a series of combos. Sends Joe out of the ring. Ricochet charges out, but Joe steps to the side. They go at it, and Joe rams Ricochet back first into the apron. Joe slows the match down now and brings Ricochet back in. Ricochet looks to mount offense, but Joe catches him in mid-move, drives him into the mat with a Uranagi. Ricochet kicks out at 2. Joe keeps control and levels Ricochet for a close 2 count. More back and forth as Ricochet looks to make a comeback. Joe drops him in the corner with an enziguri for another close 2 count. Fans rally look to rally Ricochet for now as Joe keeps him grounded. Ricochet breaks a hold with a jawbreaker, then trades shots and feet on their feet. Now Joe rocks Ricochet with an upper hand. Definitely Joe with some nasty strikes to Ricochet. Ricochet just so good at selling. This is probably the best selling performance Ricochet has done. Some fans chant for Joe as he yanks Ricochet up for a big sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. How he did it was Ricochet had his hands grasping the bottom rope. Joe pulled him up and just powerbombed him, and he only got a 2. And the reason I say he only got a 2 is because in kayfabe would be is the fact that Ricochet he didn't go like up and pull him up and then just slam him down. He just whipped him off and just laid him down with a powerbomb. Joe keeps Ricochet grounded again and focuses on his neck, taunting him to give up. Which, as we know, monologuing is a evil person, or the heel's worst enemy, I should say. Ricochet finally lands an enziguri and gets another to drop the champ as fans pop for Ricochet. Ricochet is slow to get up as is Joe. Back and forth now. Ricochet sends Joe flying into the corner. Ricochet launches with a shot on the gut to the gut. Ricochet with a flying clothesline from the top. Joe goes to the floor, but Ricochet runs the ropes, leaps out, and takes him down. Ricochet brings him back in and hits another missile drop kick. Ricochet with a springboard moonsault from the second rope, but he slowly makes the pin due to his ribs. Joe kicks out. Ricochet looks to keep strikes going and Joe, but it's backfire as Joe ends up catching Ricochet with a big power slam out of nowhere for a 2. More back and forth now as they trade counters. Joe with a German suplex and then levels Ricochet with a big clothesline and turns him inside out for a close 2 count. Joe shows some frustration now because he can't put Ricochet away. He's just doing everything he can almost. Joe catches a kick and launches Ricochet, flipping him over, like just flipping him. He twirls him and he flips and just lands hard. Joe goes for a Kikina clutch, but Ricochet breaks free and drops Joe over the top rope, sending him to the mat. Ricochet goes up top as fans start cheering. Ricochet lands on his feet as Joe moves as he tried to go for the 630, but Joe, of course, got out of the way. Several more back and forth moves. Ricochet drops Joe with a code breaker. Ricochet goes to the top and hits the 630 for the 1, 2, 3, and is your United States champion. I was so happy for this match. This match was so great. This is your match of the night. Don't at me. If you think anything else was a better match, you're wrong. This match was match of the night. Joe looked like a killer. Joe looked like he was doing everything he could to put Ricochet down, and Ricochet's heart, perseverance, and just will to win got him through this match. After the match, fans go wild as Ricochet's music hits. He can't believe he won. We go to replay as Ricochet celebrates and clutches the title. We see Ricochet enter gorilla position backstage, greeted by a group of superstars, including Triple H. It was so awesome to see Triple H back there doing what, like, just so, he looks like, that is the happiest I've seen Triple H at a main roster show in a very long time. He just looks so happy, so proud that this guy who had a name, he had a name coming to NXT. All he had to do was just have a couple things tweaked, and a couple, like, he had the sizzle, but the steak wasn't done yet. And he just came there. He had a year North American champion for a few months. Had a great tag team opportunity with Aleister Black. The Aleister Black and Ricochet team lasted from pretty much the middle of February, I believe it was, all the way until after WrestleMania. And now he's on his own. 50-50 booking didn't help him. Great win on Monday. Great win tonight. And just awesome. Now, later in the show, Ricochet is doing the usual. When you win a championship, you get a photo shoot. You get a photo shoot. And he's just sitting there. He's holding the title. He's happy. Paul Anderson and Luke Gallows show up. They're happy for him, posing with him, doing the too sweet, trying to get him to do a too sweet. He's like, nah. Looks to the side. AJ Styles is right there. AJ Styles congratulates him and then says, I'll see you tomorrow. Are we getting Ricochet versus AJ Styles for the United States Championship, which AJ Styles is a two-time U.S. champion. A two-time U.S. champion. AJ Styles, Ricochet. That would be huge for Ricochet. Coming out of Extreme Rules, if he beats AJ Styles, that would be just, I think that would just put him from here to here. Like, down here, this is where he's at right now, he would be up here. It would just be huge. Ricochet would be, he's made already, but it would just put him into the stratosphere, beating AJ Styles. And I think those two could put on a classic. And then we go to SummerSlam, and Ricochet faces Rey Mysterio, beats him. And boom, Ricochet is just beating all these legends and having great matches. How can you not? You cannot fuck Ricochet up after this. You cannot. We have the... Yep. And while Ricochet was celebrating, we went straight to Heavy Machinery coming out. We had Heavy Machinery versus Rowan and Daniel Bryan. This was not a bad match. The tag team champions look good. The challengers look good in defeat. But I saw the finish coming a mile away when Daniel Bryan is just laying there dead. Looks like he's dead. Tucker Knight, who was the legal man for Heavy Machinery, comes in and he gets rolled up for the 1, 2, 3. I saw it coming immediately because what happened was Tucker, who early in the match did a nice moonsault but missed. Mostly missed, except for his legs did get Daniel Bryan as Daniel Bryan tried to roll out of the way. So, Daniel Bryan's dead. He's on the mat. He looks like he's out of it. Tucker Knight, instead of doing what he needed to do to win the match, he decides he's going to jump off the top rope to the outside, taking out Rowan. And Rowan was not the legal man, but Daniel Bryan was. He comes back in. Daniel Bryan just picks, like, playing possum, rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. We have we have the tag team champions retaining. So Tucker Knight looks like a fool because he got beat by a guy who outsmarted him. Definitely would love to see these two teams go at it again. They did great. I would have loved to see the finish that I pitched where we see an Iron Claw by Rowan onto Tucker Knight. I think that would have been awesome, but they went with Eric Rowan being the guy to give the distraction, so the playing possum by Daniel Bryan was easier to go out with, and Daniel Bryan ended up winning the match for them. Yes, they did the Caterpillar. Yes, they did the comedy shtick. But Heavy Machinery, when they are out there kicking ass, taking names, they would definitely be a great team. Then we had SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. Yay. With Nikki Cross in Alexa Bliss's corner. We should have seen the finish coming a long mile away. It's a damn shame because Nikki Cross looks bad in the end. Nikki Cross looks bad in the end. What happened? This match, it was not bad. Guess what happens is, Bliss goes to the top. Okay, what happens is, more back and forth in the ring. Bayley tries to protect her arm, which was being worked on by Alexa. Bayley ends up hitting a big sunset flip powerbomb into the corner, which Alexa Bliss hit her head, the back of her head square on the middle turnbuckle. This woman has had concussion after concussion after concussion in the last 12 months. Why the fuck is she doing this spot? If anybody produced that spot, you should be fired. WWE, I'm not a huge fan of Alexa Bliss overall. I think she was better in NXT in my opinion. But there's people in WWE who love Alexa Bliss, Vince McMahon and company. Why would they let Alexa Bliss do something that is going to cause her to possibly get another concussion, and then they have no choice but to call her career? He's already talked about how it's been like she was afraid of concussions, and then she got smartened up about them. If you know what can happen to make a concussion happen, why are you going through with a sunset flip powerbomb into the turnbuckle, which is going to see your head get whiplash back into it? That was something that was unnecessary and was not needed for this match. Damn, it's like woman just came back a month ago from concussions. Daniel Bryan had to relinquish 2 championships because of concussions. Why would you let this woman go out there and do that? Someone answer me that one, please. Let me know why you think WWE would allow Alexa Bliss to do that if it's been reported that she's had concussions. She's even talked about how she's come back from concussions, and yet you're going to go and allow somebody to do that to where one bad move, you're going to have whiplash first and foremost, and secondly, just hitting that can cause a concussion. Why would you do that? Anyway, Bliss rolls out to the floor and Cross checks on her. Bayley runs the ropes and nails a big dive to the floor, which Cross and Bliss were there, but Cross pushes Bliss out of the way. Cross is taken down. This sends Bayley into the ring steps, which we missed how she got a hold of Bayley because they were showing us the replay and they was like transitioning back, and the camera angle was bad. Bliss with a sunset powerbomb on the floor. It was a sunset flip powerbomb. I thought it was a code red, actually. It was a code red. Bliss yells at Bayley and brings her back in the ring. Bliss goes up for the Twisted Bliss, but this is not good for Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross gets in the ring and distracts everyone out of nowhere for a very, very awkward spot. She's yelling at the ref. She's yelling at Bayley. She's not happy about what happened. I was like, wait a minute, what the hell? Your friend is up top, just minutes away from being a SmackDown Live Women's Champion for, I think, for the 3rd time. And you're running in here causing a distraction. It really makes Nikki Cross look really stupid. Bliss pushes Bayley back to the mat and goes for the Twisted Bliss after Bayley comes up top, but she lands on Bayley's knees. This leads to Bayley hitting the Bayley to belly for the 1, 2, 3. And because of Nikki Cross, yes, because of Nikki Cross, Bayley continues to be SmackDown Live Women's Champion, while Alexa Bliss is fucked out of her title opportunity. That's going to lead to them having a falling out. Yeah, I don't know. Cross checks on an emotional Bliss in the ring as Bayley walks away, and that's that. Then they show the recent happenings from the 24/7 joke, including how Drake Maverick lost the title to Truth at his wedding. Yes, Drake Maverick and his beautiful wife, congratulations to him, did get married on Thursday. However, it did not happen during the actual wedding. They had the wedding, they had the reception and everything, then they all got dressed up again. They had an actor be the pastor. They had a little ceremony. A referee shows up. Truth rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. Truth grabs the title, flicks his heels, and runs away as Drake Maverick runs after him. Garbage. 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 Hit this title. If it's on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Mixer, Twitch, MySpace for all I care, keep it there. I don't want to see it on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, NXT UK, pay-per-views, or takeovers. Give me a break. Speaking of pay-per-views, Extreme Rules is in 3 weeks. You want to know what else is in 3 weeks? Fight for the Fallen. One day for BC Extreme Rules, which no matches have been announced. We have All Elite Wrestling presents Fight for the Fallen with Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes versus Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. Shima versus Kenny Omega. Ali versus Brandy Rhodes, and other matches to come. One day before Extreme Rules. Why do you think we're getting Ricochet versus AJ Styles at Extreme Rules? For the Fallen the night before. WWE next month in 3 weeks has to follow Fight for the Fallen. Not a week, a day. 24 hours. In the USA, it will be free. On ITV and on the UK, Ireland, and everywhere else in the world, it's going to be on Fight TV and ITV pay-per-view and all that for about $10. Still, one day after Fight for the Fallen, where the Rhodes, the Brotherhood as they called it, versus the Young Bucks, Shima versus Kenny Omega. Jon Moxley will not probably be there because he's going to be in Japan wrestling in the G1 Climax at the time, so he won't be there. And nothing else I don't think has been announced for Fight for the Fallen, so yeah. I'm pretty sure WWE is going to give us AJ Styles versus Ricochet for that reason. I'm hoping we'll get something else. I'm hoping we don't get what I think we're going to get for the Universal Championship and the Raw Women's Championship. You have 24 hours after a pay-per-view, a smaller event, like I'm going to say an AEW B-level show, which is not a bad thing because I'm sure, but it's not an all-out or a double or nothing. But you have 24 hours to come up with a great show that is going to be something to follow what they do the night before. That's going to be interesting, what we see on the 13th and the 14th. Let's see what happens. As I mentioned, Luke Gallows, Colin Anderson interrupt Ricochet's United States Championship photo shoot, which is awesome to see. They annoy him a bit and see AJ Styles appear. AJ congratulates Ricochet and says he will see him on Raw, and then they leave. And Ricochet's like, huh? Huh? What the? Oh, I can't wait to see that. It's time for one of the most boring, terrible matches of the night. Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. I pitched, and I thought this is what this was going to lead to, which we're getting tomorrow anyway, is Roman Reigns losing this match due to Shane McMahon's help, and then Drew McIntyre Shane McMahon versus Roman Reigns at Extreme Rules. But that is not what we're getting. We're getting Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. I was right about the match. I was wrong about the date. So on June 24th, 2019, we will have Roman versus Drew and Shane McMahon. 2-on-1 handicap match on Raw. Wow. You really think that I care about that? You really think we should care about that? The only thing I want this to be is that Shane McMahon gets pinned, and then we move on to something else. But it looks like we're going to get Shane versus Roman number 2 going into Extreme Rules. This match is not worth talking about. This match was fucking terrible. Shane charges Reigns, sends him the outside. Roman follows up with a big spear to Drew for the 1, 2, 3, and he stands tall. I don't give a flying fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is okay. You don't have to lie anymore. You don't have to act like you care about Roman Reigns. If you see Joe on the street and you see him at the store or something, you can sit there and say, dude, you're an inspiration, all that stuff, all that jazz, whatever the fuck you want to say. When he's in the ring, his matches suck. This match was terrible. Too much Shane McMahon. Too much of it. I do not want to see Shane on TV for the next 6 months. 6 months. This guy on TV. And yes, we all were talking about, is they going to have Shane McMahon go to SummerSlam and win the WWE Championship? We get Shane versus Roman number 2, and Shane wins again. And yes, I think that's where they're going. We will know after the Extreme Rules pay-per-view is over if Shane versus Kofi is going to be a real thing. They go to Drew Gulak's Cruiserweight title win from earlier in the night. Whoop-de-doo, the match was not nothing special. Then we had Kofi Kingston versus... Hold on. Well, my camera just decided to break on me, so we're just going to have to do this the way we usually would do. But the next match, of course, was the steel cage match between Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston. The New Day member versus... It should have been me. It should have been me. This was not a good match. It didn't help that the camera angles, for whatever reason, just felt so piss poor and off for this match. The only thing that I would think was good about this match was the ending. The ending was something I didn't expect. Dolph Ziggler's close to getting out of the cage. Kofi Kingston's like, you know what? Fuck this, I'm done. And dives headfirst out of the cage and wins and retains. Nothing special about this match. This match was absolutely not good. And I'm hoping, with the fact that this was decisive, this was concrete, that this is it. No more Kofi versus Dolph Ziggler. Send that motherfucker back to Comedy Hour and move him on to somebody else. Like I said, on my preview prediction, I was hoping that this would have been Kofi drops down to the floor, and while he's getting his name announced, we see an RKO out of nowhere, and you get Kofi versus Randy Orton at Extreme Rules to give us that, but we didn't get that. So this match was not good. It was not good whatsoever. These guys should have did better. Terrible match. Brought the last 2 matches of this show brought the entire show down, in my opinion. And that leaves us with the Universal Championship, Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin. The crowd, and I'll say, before we get to this match, the crowd for this match was dead. They were absolutely dead. The crowd did not. The crowd was over this. The fans at the Tacoma Dome who were there, the 10 people who actually bought tickets that were there, and the other 100 and some that got free tickets. Anyway, the crowd. There were no chance for Kofi. There were no chance for anything. This match got completely just silent. There was no. Until the match was over, there was nothing. No crowd reaction, no nothing. That, I think, I would take over what happened in this match. And before we got to the match, We get here. Oh yeah, before we got to this match, Drew McIntyre was walking backstage. Shane McMahon, Caleb Braxton asked Drew if Roman Reigns got the last laugh. Roman doesn't care. Drew doesn't care about that. Shane says we will find out how bad Roman is on Raw tomorrow night as he faces Shane McMahon, Drew McIntyre in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Are you listening? Because I'm pretty sure I had this idea when I pitched my I pitched it for Extreme Rules, and you're like, no, we're not going to do it Extreme Rules. We're going to do it on Raw. We're going to do it on Raw. We got to get those ratings up. Drew McIntyre, Shane McMahon versus Roman Reigns on Raw. How are you going to do this match, though? How are you going to do this match if the new mandate by Vince McMahon is that no wrestling during commercial breaks? How are you going to have this match go? We'll find out tomorrow. Baron Corbin comes out. Has Mike give him a grand introduction. Out comes Seth Rollins, who raises the chair in the air. From the ringside fans boo as Corbin takes the mic to reveal his special guest referee. Rollins chases him off, takes the mic, and threatens to use the chair on whoever tries to come out and take his title as referee. Corbin says and introduces, my special guest referee is Lacey Evans. And the crowd went mild. This was not a good idea. All that hype, all that intrigue, everybody picking Brock Lesnar, which, by the way, would have made Baron Corbin look like a fucking idiot. This makes Baron Corbin look like a fucking idiot because who faced Lacey Evans earlier in the show? Who? You knew Becky Lynch was getting involved. Now, Seth Rollins beat the hell out of Baron Corbin majority of this match. Baron Corbin was put powerbomb through the announce table. Lacey Evans gets a slow count of 8 and then comes over to Mike Roman and says, listen here, this is a no count out match now. No count out whatsoever. Of course it is. But Lacey, you're a special guest referee. When the fuck did you become the authority figure? I didn't think so. Anyway. Seth Rollins still beats up Baron Corbin until Baron Corbin gets Seth Rollins' chair and beats the hell out of him. And Lacey Evans faints seeing this happening. And then she walks over to Mike Roman again and says, this is now a no disqualification match. And I'm like, oh, just make it end. Make it end. And again, you had this is boring chants, boos, this match sucks. This all sucks. You had just everything that you could think of. I believe we heard some AEW chants. This just got so piss poorly bad. No DQ match, the chants from Becky get louder as Corbin goes and drops Rollins onto a chair, but Rollins unloads Rollins with a Falcon Arrow onto the chair. Rollins holds the pin, but Evans is dropping down to count it. Fans boo her. Rollins stops the pin. Looks like he's had enough. Rollins stands up and stares Evans down as he tacks trash in her face. Evans slaps Rollins in the face and yells at her to do it again. Evans slaps Rollins again, kicks him low. Corbin tries to take advantage and Evans comes from behind with a low blow. Punch to Rollins. Corbin looks to put Rollins away with the end of days, and out comes Becky Lynch. Then sends Evans to the floor, leaps off the apron right hand, and Lynch continues destroying Evans at ringside. Let Lynch with a back exploder into the barrier, and referees run down the pool back off of Lynch. John Cone, the referee, who Baron Corbin said screwed him out of the Super Showdown match, comes in, and Corbin is not happy. Rollins takes advantage and hits at the end of days, nails a super kick, stomp, 1, 2, 3. After the match, Lynch enters the ring while Seth Rollins is sitting on the mat, just touches the top of his head. He looks up and is like, oh, hey, Bex. And we see Evans and Corbin being escorted. Lynch and Rollins embrace as she raises his arm again for a pop. Rollins raises Becky's hands for a louder pop. They laugh as Becky holds the ropes open for Rollins to exit the ring. The WWE Power Couple sits together on the apron, Rollins with his arm around his girlfriend. We go to replays, then come back to see Lynch and Rollins marching up the ramp, all smiles. The first ever Stomping Grounds pay-per-view is off the air with Lynch and Rollins going to the back together as fans cheer them on. So WWE got the okay from Seth Rollins and for Becky Lynch to have this happen. They decided, well, we'll be good. It'll be good. It'll be absolutely fun to see what these guys can do. And that's what we got. We got Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins running at the end of the show, the power couple.